We are the Nerdy Turtle Network.
Hello, and welcome to Icons Academy, here on the Nerd Turtle Network. It's Icons Actual Play. I'll be your GM for the day, Jason, and with me today is Mike playing Blessed Thorn.
Hello, and get better soon, Curtis.
Taylor playing Rigajig.
Howdy.
And Zach playing Lacuna Lane.
Good afternoon.
And we're missing one player. He's having to get doctored up for a day or two, but he'll be back, next session hopefully. And that would be Curtis, who usually plays Putty. All right. So this is our third session, I think, if you don't count the session 0.
I believe you are correct.
So last session was the first day of regular class. You met several of your teachers. Let's see. You met roommates. You met some of the other classmates. You had a new student show up that hadn't actually been there for the first day orientation. I don't think any of you made friends with him, though. In fact, I think Rigajig was half expecting to get into a fight with him.
Oh, he just seems like a delightful new friend we can make.
He plays some mean ping pong. So that's what the boys were up to. The girls, though, Blessed Thorn and Lacuna, got into a little breaking and entering.
That's a little bit of a harsh way to describe it.
You literally broke a lock and entered a building and entered an area you weren't supposed to.
It's pretty much book definition. But you seem to have gotten away without being detected.
We put the independent in independent study.
Maybe they should go to an institute for criminology. But after some of that drama, you spotted some of your classmates sneaking off campus. And from news reports the next day, they may have gotten into some shenanigans. But managed to get home, so. In the next few days of class passed, it was normal. Well, normal for this school. There was some sparring in your tactics classes. Blessed Thorn and Lacuna can't be 100% certain, but it seems like Wolf Witch was really staring hard at some of the students that next day or two. But not at you two, oddly enough. There was a couple of the who seemed to be more magically inclined students. The two of you are of magical origins, but not really magicians. But you wrap up your first week of class. Monday morning of the second week is where we'll be starting. So it's a typical day. Putty and Rigajig get up. And as pretty much every day, Eric is already up and dressed by the time y'all drag yourselves out of bed. Some days he's not even. Some days by the time y'all get up, he's coming back from a run. He seems to do a lot of that.
It's like his meal plan is just jogging.
Except that he goes down, if y'all get up early enough to go get breakfast, he goes and gets breakfast with you. Let's see. And your other roommate, I believe, was Quark or Larry, if you prefer. But I believe we established that he doesn't care much, but he just assumed you call him Quark, except if you're out in public, like off-campus public. Where Thorn and Lacuna were rooming with, I believe it was Amber and Nicole.
That sounds right.
Thank you.
For the past week, just because I know you're all very worried about it, the Jasmine Accords have held so far. But anyway, yeah. Beg pardon? Oh, I thought somebody said something. But anyway, so y'all get up, y'all get dressed. You're walking across campus, and you see this little floating. I'm trying to think what to call it. I guess robot's the best way to call it. It's kind of humanoid. Head, arms, but it kind of stops at the waist and just kind of floating around, almost Jetson machine style. And you see it'll kind of, putter over to one group of students and talk to them. You see it do something. And it floats over to another group. Let's see, we will start with Thorn and Lacuna. So it floats up to you, and it's got a little, red cross on it. Medical looking. Where did I put the faculty's names? Hang on just a second. I know I wrote down the school nurse's name somewhere. Sorry about this.
Cat interlude. Look at that little Swifty Luna. Oh, look at that. I assure you, this is not a dead cat. This cat is alive. You can see the tummy moving up and down.
I don't know.
You have a sleepy kitty.
Say hello.
Ah, there it is. I had it in my Google Notes, not in my physical notes. Or Google Docs, I should say. Anyway, sorry about that. Alright, so the droid floats up to y'all. Greetings, students. I am Medbot Mark 5. Nurse West has requested that I gather blood samples of the student's body. Or maybe I should say blood samples from the student's bodies. And it pauses like it's waiting for a laugh. And you realize it must be doing that joke with everybody because that last group of students you saw it float up to, you saw that same kind of pause. You were just too far away to hear. And she believes it would be quicker for me to go around and gather these than to inconvenience you by having you come to class, or come to the station between classes. Who would like to go first? And holds up a hand, and like a little needle comes out of one of the fingers.
Oh, Mr. Mark, I'm not sure you'll get much from me, but you can prick me first, I guess. Makuno will just roll up. Like,
Pokes a little needle in him. And some fluid probably comes out. I mean, they're trying to keep you well fed.
sorry about that scream. That's how I decided to pull my headphones out of my ears.
Oh, I thought you were just acting.
No.
Man, you could have just let us think that. So yeah, little pinprick pulls some fluid out, stops and looks at that, looks up at you. Miss, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I'm not sure you're alive.
Makuno will clutch her head, fall to her knees. Oh no, I'm dead. Oh, the existential, all-consuming. Oh no. Yeah, buddy, I'm really sorry. I don't think they updated your medical records. I'm a vampire. Yeah, there's nothing going on in here. I am very sorry.
He pauses for a second, tilts his head to one side. Vampire. Oh, but you're standing in the sun and you're not sparkling.
It's wrong to destroy student. It's wrong to destroy school property. It's wrong to destroy school property.
I meant no offense. I was merely cross-referencing vampire on the internet. I'll take Miss West the sample, or Nurse West the sample. Maybe she can use it. He turns to Blessed Thorn. Holds up a different finger. Little needle comes out.
Yes, I will grant this Mark V a drop of my divine ichor.
It
Don't
slowly works its way through the mass of thorn vines around you. But it's a metal arm, so it's not really, and it's going slow, so it doesn't really damage itself. And a little pinprick, it draws blood like normal. Thank you, miss. I hope the two of you have a nice nice day of class.
You too. Wait. Crap. I'm not here anymore. I just start walking away from him.
Someone should really notify our parents, and it floats away. Rigajig, you got up a little late, so you're trucking across the campus, by yourself. Putty Eric and Quark had already taken off. You were the last one in the shower.
Oh, that's the worst.
And you see this same little droid walking around talking to people, or floating around talking to people. It floats up to you. It gives you the same speech, the same joke. It pauses in the same place.
I will politely inform it that I will head to the nurse's office as soon as my classes are over to give a blood sample.
Well, you have more than one class. We would hate for you to be late.
And I would hate for you to not be a real thing. I was never informed there's going to be a random robot coming around drawing blood from people. I don't trust you. Oddly enough, a full student body blood sample would be notified to the students.
Well, I'm sure your parents were notified. Did they not tell you?
I'm going to go to class now, and I'll report to the nurse's office when they are over.
Oh, very well. This was meant as merely a convenience. I have no authority to require anything. Please have a nice rest of the day. And floats over to the next student.
Good day to you too. As Rigajig walks away, I may have PTSD about things taking my blood. And continues going.
Oh, crap. Give me an awareness roll, Rigajig.
Okay.
That was, by the way, the sound of a GM realizing he may have messed something
up. It's a 4.
Well, let me roll a difficulty, because it'll depend on how I roll, I guess. Okay. Forget I said anything. Just keep going. I'm sure we won't come back to this at any point. All right, so you get to your first class, and of course your entire team has the same schedule you have. You know, that's how they've got it arranged. And your first, your homeroom is with Miss Fowler, and your first period is with Miss Fowler. Some of the other students in class, which include Molly's team and Indispensable's team. Oh, and your roommate Eric's team. There's 4 of y'all in there. Several people are talking about the little droid. One of them, Timothy, who y'all were also introduced to as Stonehenge. He's kind of sitting there going, if it had a needle in each finger, that's 10 needles. There's a lot more students than that. Was it sterilized, replacing needles, or was it sterilized enough? And a few of them, like Indispensable, talked about the fact that the needle wouldn't pierce his skin, so it didn't get a sample from him. And he says it kind of, low key bragging.
Rickajig will pause on that for a moment. The school should have known that. This keeps getting weird. That robot's weird. Something's off about it.
One kid that is Geist. He nods his head. Yeah. I don't know. I'm pretty sure my folks would have mentioned if a robot was supposed to come by and take a blood sample. So I flat out told it no.
I mean, it's a new institution. I'm sure that a lot of the problems are just organizational in nature. It's the first year this place has been opened. It's gonna be hiccups.
Yeah, but we already got broke into by a literal criminal school. I don't think we should have trusted that robot 100% without anyone telling us anything.
Another girl in your class, Swarm. You don't think it was injecting something in us, do you?
Well, no, the most likely thing would be to take samples to, identify everyone and then identify weaknesses to then, when you invade the school, know what you're dealing with.
Oh.
Don't forget cloning.
Oh, good. Wait, what?
Don't forget cloning. That's another possibility.
Oh, yeah. Swarm's like, oh, yeah, because the world needs even more of me.
I mean,
And from your tactics class, y'all would know she was a duplicator. Amongst other things. But so, Miss Fowler, the bell rings, Miss Fowler gets the class going.
Do any of the kids ask Miss Fowler about the Mark V?
Molly asks, and Miss Fowler says she saw it floating around, but that's the first she's known of it.
No.
But, she's the English teacher, not, she's not involved with, the school nurse particularly. She knows Miss West, but.
So if it wasn't here, then school security just gets progressively worse by the day. If it wasn't supposed to be here, then school security is just getting worse by the day, then.
They're supposed to be teaching us.
So anyway, English class rolls on. It's English class. It's probably boring to most of you. Bell rings for y'all to head off to Mr. Turner's room for social studies. Rigajig, were you going to take this opportunity to go by the nurse's office?
Sure. I'll swing by.
All right, so you get there. Nurse West is, in there. She sees you walking in. Oh, can I help you? And she pauses.
Siegfried.
Siegfried, yes. Sorry, I don't have everybody memorized yet.
That's a lot of students.
Are you feeling all right?
Did you distribute a medical robot to take blood samples of the entire school?
A what?
To the principal's office we're going then.
Right.
She hops up and follows after you. And, quizzes you on what this robot did.
And I'll give the full spiel.
No, we've got a decent budget here, but no, not enough for medical robots. I guess Dr. Daniel or Dr. Weiss could, put something together if he wanted to. But, and goodness knows I wanted blood samples, but Principal Roland said I couldn't get samples from everybody.
I'm really starting to see the flaw in opening a public school for superheroes.
Well, it was supposed to be a secret.
Just... My dad was a trucker and I found out about this place. Let's not pretend it was a well-held secret.
She goes, yes, but we were out there looking for super people, so. Anyway, you get to the principal's office. Nurse West doesn't even stop. She just walks right by the secretary. We need to speak to the principal. Secretary looks, like she's going to argue for a second, and then she looks at you like she's wondering what you did.
I did the incredibly smart thing of not giving my blood to random robots.
Clearly, you have no idea how to play a superpowered high school kid. Quick knock on the, quick. She does a quick double tap on Roland's door and then just walks right in. Now he looks up from some sort of paperwork he's doing. Oh, Nurse West. And Mr. Siegfried. What brings the two of you by? And Nurse West looks at you, like you're the one that brought this to my attention. You want to tell him?
Yeah, and I will inform him of the robot that was walking around asking for blood samples of everyone. And claiming to be operating under the nurse's authority.
He turns to his computer, starts typing. You can see a screen on one of his walls lights up, and he's looking at security cameras all over campus. A few more buttons, and you start seeing some of those security drones that you dealt with during orientation start kind of floating around campus. No, Miss Siegfried, that was not something school related. You made a very good call in not. Oh Lord, I'm going to tell all the parents. But and as you're standing, the bell rings. As you're standing there, he he's watching the droids' feeds, or the drones' feeds. He's not really seeing anything. He pulls up the kind of a school map that shows where everything's at. He goes, if somebody unauthorized was on campus, that should have triggered alarms. Thank you for bringing this to my attention, Siegfried.
No problem, sir. Always happy to make it easier for me later.
What do you mean?
Well, if I alert you to this now, it's less likely to happen in the future.
Oh, yeah.
It's less likely to happen in the future. Less likely there's going to be a problem running around the campus against me when I'm trying to learn how to not die in the future.
That is fair.
But if you pardon me, I need to get back to class.
Oh, yes, please. And he calls out to the secretary to write you a pass. Now, the rest of your soldiers, notice that Rigajig's not there. And he's just a couple of minutes late, hands teacher the pass. And nothing big is made of it. All right, Rigajig, after class, do you fill everybody in? Or do you keep it to yourself?
Did the principal inform me to keep it private?
He didn't specifically say anything. And Eric actually flags you down Eric and Geist flag you down after class, and because they're in Turner's class with you too, and ask you about it because they figured that's where you were going, or you may have mentioned it.
Then yeah, I'll go ahead and tell him, that it was not. It was most likely by the same person that had triggered the alarms previously on purpose. Had probably found another workaround. It's something not right. But it's not school based.
You think they could do anything with black goo?
Presumably find something that breaks it down.
Oh, that'd be bad, I think.
Well, I mean, a needle can pierce your skin, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they make a substance that breaks it down and then jab you with it. Be in bad shape.
They're going to invent vampire diet pills.
But then again, like, at that range, they could just jab you with an empty needle full of air and pump you full of air, and it would probably do the same damage. I don't know enough about your physiology to even play around with the idea that I know what happens.
Well, assuming they don't decide to inflate me big and round. They could just hit me with a truck. That'd hurt too. Or, a steak. A steak, that would suck. If you're already at that range, just...
Or maybe they'll try to copy you. I don't know. I don't know why they wanted this. I just know it wasn't the school that wanted it.
Maybe they could get like a syringe full of little cell-sized wooden stakes and shoot it into me. Would that hurt me? I mean, it probably wouldn't feel too good.
I mean, do you feel it when you get a splinter?
And it just sort of wiggles her hand back and forth, kind of, sort of. There's not a whole lot of sensation going on.
While y'all are talking, the other students are standing around or walking down the hallway with you. And little Kayla is like, I wish I got to see the robot. I took a shortcut, so I didn't see nobody on campus.
That just means that some nefarious force doesn't have a sample of your blood on record.
Oh, but having a clone would be neat. I don't know though. Would they be an evil clone? Or all clones?
Maybe a brainwashed clone. Could just be like an empty shell. They shove a bunch of robot stuff into the skull to, have a little ambulatory package of your abilities. I pronounced abilities weird. Really hit the enunciation.
Well, Blessed Thorn thinks this is outrageous, and they need to. This is something that the teachers need to be held accountable for. How can we trust them to teach us if they can't even maintain simple security? I mean, what are we even supposed to be learning here? Besides, we're out. Besides, we have to protect ourselves, apparently, because no one else is going to do it for us.
The others, most of the others, just kind of shrug.
I mean, you're kind of assuming that there's equal play fields here.
How do you mean?
This was made to be a school, not an armory. We could be fighting someone who made an armory, not a school.
Huh? I'm sorry. Yeah, Thorn isn't catching on.
Like, take Spear. Spear is an armory. It is a group that is tasked specifically to hit things with its power when there's a thing to be hit. If they hit this school, we wouldn't stand a chance. But they're supposed to be good guys, and we're supposed to be good guys. But if there's a bad guy version of Spear that's equal with Spear, we're still below that. So if that's what's hitting us, we don't stand a chance. Functionally. The preparation isn't there. We're not prepped to fight an army of villains. So if an army of villains is hitting us, we don't win.
None of your fellow students are looking reassured by this.
Yeah, perhaps you don't hold so you have no expectations of a safe place of learning, but I for one, do.
I mean, a lot of the teachers here are superheroes, or at least used to be.
Oh yeah, I mean, in a straight fight, if a bunch of villains just showed up, yeah, okay, the fight would be pretty even. But this is all like spy nonsense. How many super spies are at this school?
I mean, if we knew that, they'd be shitty spies.
Geist goes, the Rook's here. He goes, yeah, she'd be super spy material.
So what you're suggesting is we ensure our own self-defense.
Well, from this point forward, I'd say unless you hear it directly from a teacher or directly from the principal, and you can know it's them, don't take someone else's word for it that they have authority. Because someone's running around being able to play around with the systems right now, and that's going to take time to kick them out. So we just play it safe.
Yeah,
Friendly
makes
Fire
sense.
goes, trust no one.
Well, it's trust everyone on their own authority. Don't trust them saying they have someone else's.
Geist goes, trust but verify.
There we go.
Also be concerned about people who have a code name of Friendly Fire. You really need to workshop that more. I'm not judging you, it's just, wow.
Well, I was thinking about Unfriendly Fire, but that doesn't roll off the tongue as well.
What about Fire Friend or Firefighter or,
I think Firefighter's taken. And
Man,
Fire
there's
Friend
like-
just sounds kind of dumb. I
It's
mean,
like
Friendly Fire is
50
actually a thing.
a bad thing, a war crime thing.
I think it's more of an accident than a war crime.
That's true.
Though I've got a buddy that was in the Navy that's got some stories. He did paperwork during Desert Storm. They had one paper that came through. It was one of our lieutenants. Fella got shot a bunch by ammunition that only our side was using, but no foul play was suspected. He was like, "Huh? How about that?" Stamped it and passed it on like he was supposed to. But anyway, So yeah, so she's like, well, do you think I should go with unfriendly fire then, since that's not actually a thing?
I mean, that sounds kind of vaguely villainous. Maybe diversify outside of fire. Like I got a thesaurus back in my room. I can lend it to you if you want.
I don't know. Friendly flame doesn't sound as good either. I mean, I do fire stuff. She holds up her hand. They burst into flame.
How about outburst?
That sure sounds like she's throwing a fit.
Now I'm feeling picked on. I'll be in class. She turns around and takes off at super speed.
What did I say?
Though outburst would be a good name for a superhero. Let me write that down. So y'all go through class. By the time you get to by the lunch period, when you get to the cafeteria, everybody's talking about it. A lot of people are flagging Riggedy Jig down to get kind of the first-hand scoop. And the rumor mill has started exaggerating the story. There may have been a swarm of these robots running around. Though everybody that saw it saw what looked like the exact same one. And nobody ever saw two of them, so, you know. During lunch, though, President Rowland makes an announcement over the PA. He outlines what happened. That the fact that they don't know who who was using this robot. That it was giving off the same. It had the same little like radio identification that the school's drones use, which is why the school security system didn't pick it up as an intruder. They are taking steps to make sure that can't happen again. The security from this point on, the security will keep up with how many drones are active and running around. So if you end up with an extra one, it'll get flagged. And they've had the security staff search the premises to make sure that it's not still here. Basically, he'll notify your parents of what happened, yada, yada, yada. And in the future, if you're the slightest bit suspicious of anything, just come to a member of the staff, If it turns out to be something legit, you will not get in trouble for double checking. And through the rest of the day, you'll be called one by one to the nurses' station to make sure that they were just taking blood samples and weren't injecting you with anything.
No.
But so that is, and then that's still the talk of the school the rest of the day. Everybody kind of stays on lookout, And you notice the security staff is a lot more obviously present. Where most of the time they try to be kind of, out of sight, out of mind. They're a visible presence on campus the rest of the day. But class wraps up for the day. 3:30, whenever school lets out. What would your characters get into at the end of a school day? There's some homework, but not a real heavy load.
Rigajig starts sewing.
What is he
It's a
sewing?
good hobby.
Because now I need a puncture-proof suit. Yeah, mostly Rigijig will just sit in his little station inside his room working on small widgets and such.
Additions for the rig or individual gadgets?
Well, it's kind of like constant, because, surprise enough, wearing a rig every day requires near constant maintenance. And also, yeah, trying to develop something else that can attach and function on the suit.
Trying to make the suit modular.
Yeah, work on anything I can to make it better.
Okay. And what would the girls be doing?
I think Lacuna gonna knock out her homework and spend the rest of her day not think about how delicious everyone looks. Like a pastry.
Now, would Lacuna be doing her homework like sitting on her bed, or would she be out in kind of the shared space between her and her roommates? The living room, basically.
Either or. Evens or odds.
All right, you gonna roll a dice?
She's out in the common area.
Okay. As you're doing your homework, there's like a nice breeze in the room. It takes you a little while to realize friendly fire is like zipping past you, back behind you every now and then.
Hey, you okay?
From her bedroom here. Oh yeah, I'm just doing my homework.
It's kind of a weird way to do homework.
Well, I have a lot of extra energy.
So you're doing your homework, getting up and running around, then going back to do more.
Sure.
That doesn't sound very believable.
She marches out looking kind of peeved. See, she holds up her paper where she's been filling out some of the questions. She's gotten exactly as far as you've gotten. Quite a quinky dink.
If you want a study buddy, there's like, just pull up a seat. We can do this together.
Well, I guess that would be all right. Let's see. What homework would y'all have that she would be having trouble with? We'll say it's the math, and it's not that she's having trouble with it per se. It's just it's something her super speed isn't really helping her with. So she's very bored. So, Lacuna and Blessed Thorn, give me awareness checks. This is later in the evening. You're getting
I'm pretty much useless. I generated a 5.
I got 6.
All right. Just a second, I realized I didn't have the icons assembler open, so I don't have all the characters loaded up. Let's see, who is it I'm looking for? Oh, yes. All right. It should be +5. All right. So it's later. Y'all get ready for bed.
Yeah, we can. I'd like to play out the scene, but afterwards there is something that Blessed Throne would like to have done, but we can play that out after this scene.
Okay. So yeah, so y'all are getting ready for bed. Nothing seems out of the ordinary. Rigajig, you give me an awareness roll.
Oh, joy. I love those. They're my best roll on this character.
Are you saying he's kind of oblivious?
Oddly enough, yes. Like, he's great at thinking things out, but in the moment, he's terrible.
Hyper focused.
It is actually a problem some people have that when they overfocus. This is also a 5. Okay. Just as Rigajig, just as you're getting settled into bed, you hear a little commotion over in Quark's room. Like somebody bumping into a table in the dark.
I'm gonna regret checking this out.
Oh, his bedroom door. You know, when you step out there, his bedroom door shut. You still with us, Tyler?
Yeah, I'm gonna write a note and slip it under the door.
What's the note say?
This reject heard the noise. I'm not going to investigate further. If you need help, I'm here. I'll just slide it under the door and then go back to my room.
You're climbing back into bed. You hear a little noise. You glance over at your door and you see where somebody has slid a piece of paper under your door.
I'll get up and read the piece of paper.
You could have just knocked. I just bumped into a table. Everything's all right. Signed, Larry.
Read another note.
Mm.
I will set the note down. I'll go back to sleep. Because if he's lying to me, I don't want to know. Because I don't want to make an enemy in my own dorm room. Back to sleep we go.
All right. And as you're nodding off, you hear Eric. Quark, where are you going? And then go talking gets quieter after that. It's like they started. Eric said that and then realized, oh yeah, everybody's going to bed and gets quieter. You just hear some hushed whispering outside.
I'm gonna let it slide until it involves me. Gonna let it slide. I know what he's doing. I know he's going out with those two boys he shouldn't be, but I'm gonna let it slide.
A little bit later, there's a knock at your door. Your bedroom door, not like the apartment door or the dorm door.
I just generally say an explicative and then get up for the door.
You open it up, Eric's standing there. Sorry, man. Hope I didn't wake you up.
I just stand there. Quark went out.
Yeah, Quark's sneaking out again. Should we, I mean, I don't want to go to the teachers about it, but, should we, like, tag along behind him, or?
If he was going out with people I didn't know, I would. The fact that he's clearly going to be going with indispensable makes it very difficult for me to want to follow.
Yeah, because you trust that guy so much to keep people out of trouble.
Because I don't trust him if he spots me not to try to attack me in the dark. And I ain't exactly going to 1v1 the boy.
Look, man, y'all got off to a rough start and all, but, it ain't like he's tried anything in the past week. And I'd be there, so,
Alright, Eric. I'll follow you on this one.
So y'all get ready to head out. You step over to Putty's door, but you just hear, you hear logs being sawed in there. You just can't bring yourself to wake him up.
Fair enough.
So while you're getting the rig on, Eric slips on out. Because Quark goes back to normal size apparently once he gets outside. Because from previous experience, he shrinks to go under y'all's dorm door rather than open and shut it. But yeah, Eric, he said, "You look all right. They're meeting up. It's a little wooded spot over by the parking lot, over by the main parking lot, kind of where they went out the last time when the girls followed him." He goes. There's a couple of the girls here too.
Mm-hmm.
It's he basically reports to you that it's indispensable. Quark. Shoot, who was the one that went out with him last time? Was it Pin? No, it was Corkscrew that went out with him. Corkscrew's there because that's the other spinning guy. Friendly Fire is there, though he just calls her Nicole. As well as one of the Jasmine's, Mischief Maker. Though he just signs her name as Jasmine MM. As part of the Accords, no one's allowed to just say Jasmine. So what's Ricky Jiggy doing? And you would know that Nicole was Thorn and Lacuna's roommate, or one of them.
All right. Well, Eric, this is a group big enough that either they can handle it without me, or we couldn't handle it with me. So I'm going to go ahead and play my cards out. You cool with that?
Sure, man. I'll back your play.
Cool. I like making neutral people. And Rigajig will start walking towards the group.
Indispensable is the first person to spot you. And with his goggles on, you can't see him roll his eyes, but the way his head does, it's like a major eye roll. He turns to the rest of his group. Who told him?
Same person that told me yesterday. You. It's not hard to see someone sneak out. Indispensable.
Wasn't yesterday. What are you talking about?
Whenever you went to the burning building.
Remember, this is a week. Remember, this is like a week later. Y'all, the rest
Sorry,
of y'all.
sorry. A week ago. Sorry. With what's happened, I knew this was going to happen again. And it's fine. I completely understand. This is a big enough group. You should all be able to stay fairly safe. I'm not bothered by this. Y'all keep... Do as you please. I'm not in command or control of you. But make sure everyone comes back safe.
Yeah.
From whatever it is you're
Teams
doing.
watch each other's backs, you know. Thanks for your permission, Dad.
I'm also the notice that a kid with no superpowers can tell you're running out. One of the teachers is bound to catch you. Start getting better at it.
There's a little snickering from some of the other members of his group.
But I can see that my teammates' dorm mate is here, but my teammates aren't. So I'm going to follow their sterling example and head back to bed. Don't worry, I won't rat any of you out, because I can understand the concern with, you know, a blood-taking robot being allowed to run free for like 3 hours. So have a good time. Do what you need to do. I'm going to go back to bed.
Quark's like, you sure you don't want to come along? I mean, it's good practice. And we're helping people.
I'm going to need my opponent to have as little data on me as possible.
Okay.
Because if I can catch you sneaking out, the person that can hack into cameras can catch you sneaking out. Which means they'll have something following you to watch. So keep an eye out.
Indispensable just kind of waves his hand at you. We figured out where the cameras are. We'll avoid the cameras getting here.
You know what? I'll let you live in your world. There's no reason to break it yet. All right, have a good night.
All right, so you head back to bed. Eric's kind of following you. He doesn't seem totally happy with what you chose, but you know. But he agrees with you, and it's a pretty good sized group, so they should be able to watch you those back.
Well, the thing is also we're being watched by some clandestine group that isn't the school, but it was able to get on school campus. There's going to be more cameras than just the school cameras. There's going to be something watching for an exit group. There's too many things that could be going on outside, especially for us not even knowing how many things are going on inside. There's no way I want to step outside the campus right now. Because at least on campus, there's superheroes within 100 meters. And, like, Brigadier explaining that to Eric.
Yeah. Eric's like, well, you know, aren't we superheroes?
No, we're kids. That's the point. The reason we're here is we don't match superheroes yet.
Oh, okay. That's,
Don't get me wrong, I can hit like a truck. But I'm going to be fighting someone that hits like a truck and has done so for 10 years. I'm not there yet.
that's fair, okay. I guess I don't know if you're being mature or if you're just weird. I mean that in a good way.
It's fine. I just live by a phrase.
He looks at you. You know, expectantly.
1,000 problems at port before 2 at sea. Because if your ship sinks at port, you can get off and you're safe. But if you're out at sea and 2 problems happen that you're not expecting, you sink and you die.
It's like, oh yeah, I think I have heard you use that one before. I may steal that from you too, because I'll probably be out at sea when I'm finished training.
Oh?
He tenses his neck and flexes his gills.
Oh.
Aquatic powers, remember?
Yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Which I think he mentioned when you first met him, maybe in passing, but it hasn't really come up in tactics class because he's just been, you know, he's been fighting like a brick.
Yeah, I'll totally allow you to take that. It'll have more meaning when you're actually at sea.
Mm-hmm. So you get back to bed, you get settled in. We'll cut back over to the girls' dorm. Blessed Thorn, you've been asleep a couple of hours. Lacuna, did we establish that you sleep like normal, or do you sleep kind of fitfully at night? Oh, that's right. I forgot. Zach, I got to step away. I forgot. That's the problem with not having y'all on camera. So yeah, Blessed Thorn, you've been asleep a couple hours. Suddenly your bedroom lights come on. Thorn, wake up, wake up, wake up!
What's up? What's wrong?
You sit up, it's Kayla. I saw Nicole sneak out, so I snuck out after her. She met up with Indispensable and a bunch of people. And your buddy Siegfried like met up with him and talked to him and then walked back off. With that big guy, what's his name? Eric? Something like that. He walked up with Siegfried and left with Siegfried again after they talked for a little bit. So I followed him off campus and they got into a fight with these people shooting nets at him. I mean, nobody saw me because people don't see me if I don't want them to. I don't want to go to the teachers though because I might get them in trouble. I mean, they're still fighting, isn't it?
They're still fighting now?
Yeah, well, they were when I left, yeah.
Okay, so they weren't captured in the nets. They were still fighting.
A couple of them had been caught in the nets, but it's like these bazooka-looking things, but they shoot nets.
Oh.
And I'm back.
But anyway, we gotta go help. And she runs out of the room and she starts banging on Lacuna's door. Lacuna, wake up, wake up, wake up. You have an excited Kayla banging on your door.
She gets up, opens the door. What?
She points over at Friendly Fire's door. Nicole stuck out. And then I followed her and she met up with, a bunch of people and Indispensable. And anyway, they're getting caught in nets now.
I'm sorry, they're getting what now?
There's bazooka shooting nets. People with bazookas shooting nets at them.
On campus?
No, they stuck off campus. She grabs you by the hand and starts dragging you out. Come on, we gotta go.
All right, let's come on. Let me get my shoes on at least. God.
Okay, you get your team, we'll get ours.
Well, I'll grab Molly. I'm not going to. Let's see. Is Corkscrews already out? Actually, other than Corkscrew, all our teams are the ladies. Yeah, I'll go get the rest of the team. So Corkscrew snuck out with Indispensable again. I'll be right back. And she turns around and runs into the shadow in a corner of a room and just disappears into the shadow.
The worst kept secret on this campus is how many people sneak out.
As long as the adults don't know, it's okay.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like that's the opposite of what needs to be known.
Well, okay, yeah, granted.
You gotta stay in genre though, man.
Yeah.
Gonna grab my phone and text Siegfried. Hey.
Jig, your phone beeps.
I swear, if I sleep for longer than 15 minutes tonight, it is a gift. And I look at my phone, read the message.
Dixie Cup snuck out again, and now one of our roommates is with them. They're being attacked by people with nets.
Are you going?
Yeah.
Tell her we have to
There's
back
a
up.
lot of extra A's in that. Yeah.
Tell him we have to back up our roommate.
I mean, she's our roommate. Dumb decision, but
And what are we gonna do? Trust the teachers to help out?
All right. I'll hang up and I'll call Eric.
Dude, I'm like in the room next to you. What?
I didn't want to wake up Putty because he's dead, but they've gotten in a fight with people with net guns. We have to go help them.
Poop.
Yeah, I know. Get in the rig and get going.
Eric comes out and he's just dressed in normal clothes. He's not his school uniform. But he didn't really have a costume yet.
We're gonna meet up with the other half of the reinforcements, then head out.
All right. So while Blessed Thorn and Lacuna are getting ready, when y'all get ready and step back out, suddenly Kayla comes running back out of that shadow y'all saw her run into, and she's got Molly trailing behind her, as well as Swarm and a girl named Ashley that goes by Pinball.
Buzzed up another buddy of ours, so we should be good to go.
Kayla's like, who else did you tell?
Rigajig.
Oh, secret.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a quick question about all the hubbub that was going on earlier in the day. Were there any rumors running around that maybe the skull was like behind the disappearances, or that was actually secretly behind the hijinks, like actually drawing the blood for their own purposes? Well, I guess you know what. Never mind. They wouldn't have bothered. Never mind. Forget it.
But no, none of the rumor milling was particularly suspicious of the school.
Okay. It just occurred to me that if that's what they wanted, they would have just been upfront about it because they're the establishment. Why would they have to lie? Anyway.
But
sorry.
So Kayla has y'all grab hands, drags y'all into the shadows. Like I said, you're running into the corner of the room that you know you should be hitting the wall, but you take like 5 or 6 extra steps, and suddenly you step out and you're into another dark room.
Ooh.
She walks over and flips on the light switch, and you realize you're in the downstairs public area of the boys' dorm. You know, where the ping pong table is and that stuff. And then Kayla looks at the stairs going up. Do one of us need to go up there and get him?
Just text him, have him come down.
Oh, right. So Rigajig, you and Eric get a text that they're downstairs.
All right. As y'all slip downstairs, when y'all get, you walk as quietly as you can in the rig down the stairs, which isn't super quiet, but it's been a couple hours, so maybe everybody's asleep. But then when you get downstairs, you find Geist is standing like right by, he's like, y'all come down the stairs, and Geist is just right there on the stairs behind Eric, following you down. No, hey guys, I kind of expected you to be with the first group, honestly.
Nah, I'm trying not to get in any trouble, and they're gonna get caught eventually.
Yeah,
What's this about?
They're a random group of people trying to catch them with net guns. We're gonna try to cut in and save everyone if we can. Or hopefully they've won the fight and we'll just show up and it won't mean anything.
Do we need to wake up everybody? And he starts looking at the team y'all got assembled. Yeah, never mind. There's quite a few of us here. There's no way we're going to keep this secret if we get any more people.
Oh, the secret's going to be long caught out once they realize, 17 students have black eyes in the morning. Either that or they're going to think we have a secret fight club going on. And then he pauses for a moment. Geist, you would tell me if we had a secret fight club.
As far as I know, our tactics class is our fight club, and it's not a secret.
That's fair.
Maybe go grab my costume. He runs back upstairs.
We could start a secret fight club if you guys wanted to.
Kayla's very excited at that idea. I want to fight.
Okay, calm down. That was a joke.
A little bit later, a guy shows up with he's got a white outfit with the mask isn't exactly a skull mask, but it's reminiscent.
All right. Clearly, somebody's got a super secret travel power. So how do we get there?
Kayla's like, everybody hold hands.
Siegfried attempts to position himself to hold Lacuna's hand.
Yeah.
She'll take it.
Just internally. I'm gonna hold hands. One of them's gonna be with a girl.
Yeah. I'll try to like be next to people who looks likely able to like hold my hand without getting punctured.
Oh yeah, that would be a factor. Molly's fairly stout, so she kind of loops a hand in there, grabs hold, and then Kayla flips off the light, grabs the first person's hand, and kind of y'all, to take off at a run. You burst out into a city street, or an alleyway, I should say. And it is chaos. You see people in tactical gear. Some of them are laid out on the ground. You see these. About half of them have these like backpack contraptions that end in like a tube. They do hold it like an old school World War II bazooka kind of thing. And it's that big tube looking thing, and it's shooting out these little canisters that go, you kind of hear a thump, and then the canister splits open into a net. In fact, you see him shooting one at Indispensable, but he's just snatching them out of the air. They also don't seem to be doing much to Corkscrew. It's like, he starts spinning, and when they hit him, he just kind of tangles them up and tosses them to the side. Do give me awareness rolls.
I got a 7.
And the 6
Also
here.
got a 7. Wait. Your initiative isn't based off of your awareness.
What? No. No. I'm asking for awareness rolls, not initiative rolls.
Yeah.
Initiative rolls will be coming.
I'm looking at Michael M. uses initiative.
Oh, right. I see it now.
My coordination and awareness are the same. Can I just stick the roll?
You just rolled.
I mean, I'll re-roll because that's not great.
If
That's
it's
not
the
a great
same
roll.
numbers, that is fine. Yeah, if it's the same numbers, that is fine.
Yeah,
I just saw it say initiative, and I went, "Wait, hold up."
No,
a
you're
minute."
right. I screwed up. You're right. I screwed up. I just luckily screwed up in the right way.
Oh, there's the what I need. Looked at the stats and then put the book down before I actually read them. All right. Okay, nobody notices the shadowy figure watching from the distance. All right. Or whatever that was for. So yeah, you step out and you see all this commotion. The group that left with Indispensable is clearly outnumbered. You see Friendly Fire is in one of the nets. She's trying to burn her way through, but doesn't seem to be having much luck. You don't know what the nets are made of, but though she does not appear to be like injured at all. You don't see Quark at all. Let's see, who else was in that group? It was Indispensable, Corkscrew, Quark, Friendly Fire, and Mischief Maker. I forgot it was one of the Jasmine, so that was Mischief Maker. She is also in in one of the nets. Though strangely, two of the guys in the tactical gear have set their weapons down, and it look like they're trying to get the net off of her. And she has got this just pissed off and impatient look on her face. Now you can roll me initiatives.
All right.
Oh, there's the big numbers.
All right, so we've got Lacuna Lane at a 10. Blessed Thorn on a 5. Rigajig at an 8.
I'm at a 5.
Grab me a handful of D6 real quick. I think it'll be quicker me rolling actual dice for this than I wasn't thinking about just how many people are involved in this. All right. He goes on a 6. He's the important one. All the thugs go on the last initiative. All right, Lacuna, you are first.
I'm gonna charge ahead and try to rip the net away from friendly fire.
All right, so you're just gonna try to you're just gonna brute strength it.
Yeah.
All right. What is your strength?
7.
All right, so that will be 7 versus the material strength of the net. Let's see, that's okay. All right, give me a roll with your strength then.
10's the number to beat.
All right. So the material rolled a 7. So yeah, you run up, you grab it, and it's super flexible, but it feels kind of metallic. Well, I don't know if you took the time to put on your gloves, you might not be able to tell that. But it's night, so you might not have bothered with your gloves.
Nah, no gloves.
In fact, are you even wearing your hat?
I'd say the hat is enough of a reflex that I'm at the moment I'm wearing that.
Okay. Plus, it covers up bedhead.
Yeah.
So you didn't have time to comb your hair. So yeah, you reach up, grab it, and you just, you hear that kind of metallic ping, 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 ping as you kind of tear it open.
Just so you know, this is entirely your own fault that you were in there, but, I'm still your roomie? Friendly roomie.
Thanks, Lacuna. And she hugs you. Thankfully,
Yeah.
thankfully remembering to take turn the fire on her hands off first. Doesn't want to live up to her name quite this quickly. And then she takes off. Blessed Thorn. No, wait. Rigajig is next.
Can we tell how many targets are there? Like how many people are shooting nets at people?
Some of them have nets. Some of them have what look like they almost look like tonfa, but they're kind of sparking at the ends. Some kind of tonfa / tasers. There's probably a dozen of those guys.
Great. I'll go ahead and pop my spinning and hit one of the net gun guys as fast as I can.
Okay. Give me a coordination then. Let's see, do I have the NPC stats on this screen? Yes, we have thugs. Excellent. Alright. So that is versus his prowess. Ooh, and he rolled really good. But you still pop him. How much damage did you do?
I believe since I'm spinning. The spinning attack will make it a 6, yeah.
Alright, so you hit him with a 6.
And can I pop my fast attack to try one more?
Okay, the way fast attack works, if you're targeting the same target, is it works like you had somebody helping you.
Okay.
So you can either use it to make it easier for you to hit, or maybe just to bump your damage. I forget. So you make a second roll. If that succeeds, you do more damage.
All right.
So you need to beat a 6 this time.
Which I did with an 8.
Oh, okay. I see where you already rolled.
So yeah,
For some reason, it didn't make the noise on my end.
It's gonna be an 8 damage pop to him.
Yeah, you spin at him, just a nice center mass punch. He goes flying back against one of the brick walls in the alley, and then just falls into the garbage bag and just kind of lays there, wheezing like he can't get any air.
And this was already a loud fight, right?
Oh yeah, there was already some noise. Not noise like a lot of gunfire.
Yeah.
You actually don't see anybody with like regular guns.
Then I'll go ahead and, iterate to the team. Take the nets out first. We don't want anyone captured.
All right, then it's Blessed Thorn.
All right. Hearing the note to take out the nuts first. I'm just going to see if I can shred my way through any of them with my thorns. Let's say the one that's encasing. Let's see. Well, Jasmine's already being freed. Fire already got freed. Oh wait, there's no one who's currently netted. Is that correct?
Other than Mischief Maker, Jasmine, no.
Right, but she's already.
And like you said, yeah, she's already got a couple of the thugs apparently helping her out.
Okay. With that in note, I'm going to actually enact, because I haven't used my plant mimicry power yet. It's about time. We're almost halfway through the season. And invoke plant mimicry for the. I'm actually just looking at the. Oh darn it! I just noticed that the affliction power works off of. Oh shoot! Yeah, it does work off of prowess. That's not great at all.
I ain't got a great prowess.
I got a 1. It's as bad as it gets. Wait, let's see. Let me. Yeah, but you know what? This is what I've got. So, I think. I can. Let me do this. I'm actually just going to. Shoot. I'm actually going to try to shoot thorns at one of the bad guys, because at least my coordination's a 2, which is
Alright.
still bad, but it's something at least. So
Makes you
let
feel better.
me.
The thugs don't have real good coordination either. So
That's good to know. So I'm gonna. I guess I'm going to be Thorn Blast. We'll call that. Let's call it that roll.
unfortunately, they rolled max, so you had to beat an 8.
It's
It's possible because they've got the same coordination you do, but
well, not quite. Shoot. Okay.
so yeah, you fire some thorns by one guy. He kind of ducks. But you figure you've probably got his attention now because he spins his little tube device over your direction.
Well, if he tries to attack me, at least I can thorn him that way. If I stay standing afterwards.
All right. After that, the rest of your classmates start going. I should really have written down a list of who all y'all brought. All right, so you see Molly, she launches into the air, and you hear just kind of Superman into one of the net throwers. Carries him kind of, half the length of the alleyway before plowing him into the side of a dumpster. And he's out.
Nice.
But you've seen her in tactics class. She's prior to school, she's clearly already had some training in how to fight with her powers. Let's see the rest of her team that's here. You see Corkscrew go spinning into somebody. As always, it's creepy watching him because he rotates at the waist. It's like from the waist down starts rotating one direction, the waist up starts rotating the other one. And that seems to be how he moves around. But he charges one of the guys, another one of the net shooters, and seems to pick him up as he spins around and then drives him, then throws him into the ground. Pinball, you see, take off at clearly at enhanced speed. She's not as fast as Indispensable. Though she probably is about as her and Friendly Fire are probably about the same speed. But yeah, she launches forward and hits people because she's got enhanced strength to go along with her speed. So yeah, she zips forward and kind of almost as like a baseball slide next to a guy, as he goes to swing the little baton at her. She slides into that, grabs him by the ankle, then just kind of comes up and kind of pulls what Hulk did to Loki in that first Avengers movie. Just kind of up over there and down into the ground. She only does it the one time, though, because, normal humans are fragile.
They're Italian?
Must be. And then Swarm. As soon as you arrive, you see Swarm split into 6 people. And they all start crawling up walls. One of them leaps off the wall and just comes down two-fisted on one of the guards. And just kind of snatches him up over their head and smashes him down again. One of them leaps off the wall and sprouts cat-like claws out of their hands. Basically, you see each of them does the wall crawling and seems to mimic a different animal.
Everyone's doing better in this fight than I am.
Oh, I'm sorry. Swarm should not be doing that well. Except for the one of her that starts spitting poison at people. She has a high coordination but a low prowess. I had gotten that one backwards. So I thought she was going to be physically intimidating. I'm trying to think of how many animals have ranged attacks. It's not a whole lot, actually.
Don't porcupines shoot their quills? Or is that just something the Marvel villain does?
I think that's just something the villain does.
Skunks?
Oh, now skunks would be a good one. You got a point there.
Oh, mercy on those.
But what high school girl is going to turn around and spray people? But so she starts a variety of attacks. Some of the physical ones miss, but she does get at least one guy in the eye with, maybe it's cobra venom. I don't know. He doesn't look like he's dying. He just screams, starts grabbing at his eyes. You see Geist walk over and basically tell those two thugs, excuse me. And he reaches through the net, grabs Mischief Maker, and then just kind of stands her up and sets her to the side, out of the net. The net like falls through her.
That's a neat trick.
She just kind of looks around. Oh. And then she tells two thugs, go beat up your friends now. And they run off and tackle one of the other guys. She seems to have them under her control. Let's see here. What team was Kayla on? All right, Night Flocks. You see her look at the probably the last net guy that's unopposed at the moment, and from behind him on the wall, you see. From the shadows behind him, you see tendrils of shadow shoot out along the ground, and when they get about level with him, they rear up into like what almost look like physical shapes. They start trying to grab his arms. He's trying to fight them off. You hear her to the side. No, grab her. Yeah. It's like she's. It's almost like you were somebody overly excited about a fight on TV is trying to suggest to the character on the TV what to do. No, hit him like this. While the guy's kind of freaking out, he's shooting his net at the shadows, but it just passes through the shadow. But then the shadow physically grabs him.
And that's the last of the. You said that was the last of the net thugs, but
right. You still got some of the ones with the batons. They're like cattle prod, tonfa or whatever.
Tonfa tasers.
Yes, sir.
It's kind of catchy. Tonfa taser.
Now it is their go. Let's see. One of the net guys was pointing a net at Blessed Thorn.
There we go.
So he's going to shoot at her. Got to beat a 5. All right. So, you knew you got his attention, so you were ready for him. You just sidestep, and the net goes, hits the ground behind you. One of them runs up on Rigajig. You also need to beat an 8.
That's going to be troublesome. Oh, yeah, I'm the best ever.
Well, you could have potentially flubbed it.
Yes. No, I just my characters just had the best time on this adventure of just somehow, despite having no power relevant to the situation,
And being
just keep succeeding.
And being the least enthusiastic in the first place.
Well, now, Rigajig's got a +5 at whatever you just rolled.
Yeah, his prowess and coordination are both his higher stuff.
Oh, okay.
I just meant through the course of it, it's just been just have Rigajig do it. With some of the tests and stuff.
Alright, Lacuna, one of them runs up and tries to poke you.
I'm going to dodge.
You would almost think he was trying to stake you with it, but it's probably just a coincidence that's kind of where he was stabbing. You're just sensitive about it.
Oh.
All right. So he is hitting you with it is a stun attack. It uses your strength, which is probably pretty good on her, if I recall from a turn ago. Let's see, stunning. Yeah, coordination versus coordination. Well, in this case, it was prowess because it's a hand-to-hand stun. Yeah, he rolls power level versus your strength. So you roll your strength, he rolls the power level of the stun.
Could I tap? Oh, never mind.
Oh, you could if you wanted to. Obviously, with that roll, you don't need to. So that's a 5 plus 7. So that's a 12. So you definitely beat the 5 he rolled.
Stare at him with murderous intent.
You see one of the baton guys run up, and he slips away from his buddies that were attacking him, and runs up to Geist and Mischief Maker. Mischief Maker kind of steps behind Geist, but when he goes to stab Geist, or tase Geist, the baton passes completely through Geist and tags her.
Ooh.
And you see her kind of go, give a, well, if you've ever seen somebody tased, you kind of know her reaction. She drops to the ground. The two guys that had, they'd gone to attack him, he'd slip past them, they turn around and come after him. They both stop mid, kind of come to their senses mid-step and kind of shake their heads and they're looking around.
She picked the wrong person to use as a shield.
And you kind of hear guys, oh crap! sorry. And he's trying to help her up, or but she doesn't seem to be completely unconscious, but she's not going to be combat useful for a minute. And you see a couple of other, a couple of them try to tase Indispensable. Another one tases Molly. It doesn't really seem to have any effect on them. But traditionally, tasers don't work real well on bricks. As you're getting ready to press the attack, though, you hear this sort of high-pitched whistling sound coming from all the men. And specifically, it's coming from a piece of their equipment, like their radios. And almost all of them turn and look up to this one spot on top of the buildings before turning tail and running. And up on the top of the building, you see this individual.
Oh. Yeah.
Now, he doesn't have the weapons you see him holding in that picture. He does not have those drawn. They are, well, they're not holsters. You don't see holsters either. But, though he does have a belt of equipment with one of those taser tonfa things hanging from his belt. And when they all turn and look at him, you just see him shake his head like... Yeah, but then all the men start retreating. They're trying to grab their fallen comrades. Give me awareness rolls.
Okay.
This time I got it right. But real badly.
Okay, so everybody rolled lower than him. You do see that he's got like some sort of camera in his hand. Video camera. Nothing super high tech. It was just he was clearly filming the fight. And then he attaches that to his belt, gives you all a little salute, and turns around and steps further back on the roof of the building. If you wish to pursue the escaping people, you certainly can.
Do they have any students whatsoever?
You have not seen Quark.
I'll shout for Quark if he's here.
He suddenly swells up next to you.
Okay, good. No casualties. We can leave.
As you say that, you realize Indispensable and Molly had both already headed off in the direction they were going. But as you say that, Molly pulls up short and reaches out and kind of snags Indispensable by the shoulder. What? We're just gonna let him go? And Molly's like, no, he's probably right. They're probably not luring us into a trap, but they could be. And she kind of floats back over to where everybody else is. She checks on Kayla first to make sure she's okay, and then Molly starts checking everybody else. Several of the guys are like high-fiving each other. Oh, I forgot to have Eric do anything. Oh, well. He was another brick doing brick things.
Just doing brick stuff.
Well, he doesn't have any water to dive into to show off his aquatic stuff. So.
Someday we'll get attacked by giant fish creatures.
He's playing like my favorite scene of Aquaman. There's one of the DC movies where they were just setting up the watchtower in this version, and it got attacked, and they were just transporting whoever they could in. Aquaman teleports in and just immediately dive bombs an opponent and just starts swinging out. He's just like, yes, I'm the fish man. Also, I'm super strong. And just starts punching things.
People need to respect. He's the king.
All right. So y'all all group up. Within a couple of minutes, Mischief Maker is back on her feet. She's like, I've never been tased before. That kind of sucks.
I wonder if they're going to tase this as part of our classes eventually, like they do in the arm, in training these days, where they tase everyone just so they know what it's like.
Yeah, I know the police have to go through that. I think they do in the military. I'm not sure.
I just see videos. I don't even know who it is, but someone who looks.
If you want, I could probably design a grounding mesh, so if they tase you on any kind of clothes, it'll ground out.
She's like, yeah, when we get to costume design, I may take you up on that.
All right, no one got captured. Overall, this is a debacle. They clearly got to see all of our powers on display, and they'll be more prepped for next time. But no one's hurt, and that's good.
So maybe everyone should stop sneaking off campus?
I'm not going to say yes or no to that, because at this point, it's a fight against an enemy. Like, at this point, they're going to try to find a way onto the campus. Keeping the fights off campus might be for the best. I just don't know. There's too many things.
We fight them here, so we don't have to fight them there. Is what you're saying?
I would rather fight them here than fight them where I sleep. Yes.
I guess there's some logic to that. This all still seems like a really bad idea, though, but I don't think good decision-making is something superheroes do a lot.
Indispensable looks at Lacuna. What have you got? You're already dead. What do you got to worry about?
Don't talk to me, Dixie Cop.
Oh,
Don't talk to me. What?
What was it you called him?
Dixie Cop.
You keep cutting out on us.
I think you said Dixie Cup?
Yes.
Okay.
Test.
Yeah, coming in clear now.
Okay.
It's only when you got something really cool to say that wants to cut out on this. His face scrunches up when you say Dixie Cup, like he's trying to figure out what?
I think it's a reference to college parties.
Oh. Well, that's kind of cool, I guess. And then y'all start hearing police sirens in the distance.
Cheese it's the fuzz.
Oh, of course. They always show up right at the end.
Hey, look, man, if I got paid what the police got paid, I wouldn't be messing with those super people till they were gone either.
That's fair. Can we all go? Are we all able to transport home in the same way we got here?
Yep. Kayla's like, all right, everybody, grab hands. She walks over and grabs Ricky Jig's hand. Just because he was the closest.
Ricky Jig is fine with this. Ricky Jig extends his hand out for the next one.
Everybody gets Indispensable takes he doesn't take Ricky Jig's hand.
Lacuna will take Ricky Jig's hand.
Alright. Indispensable takes Lacuna's hand.
I squeeze.
Well, Indispensable is all about the power tests, so he probably enjoyed that.
He just looks a little surprised at first, and then he squeezes back. It's a firm handshake you've got there. How strong is Lacuna?
7.
Okay, I think y'all are about equal then. Which team is he on? Yeah.
No, he's just gonna think you're flirting with him.
He would think I was flirting with him no matter what I know this type of guy.
Oh, that's a good point.
Well, you're always looking at him, and you know he's in tights, so you know.
Yeah.
And most of the folks that were already out here are all looking kind of curious. Well, are you holding hands? And then Kayla's like, okay, this way. And she just runs towards, the shadow obscured section of the alleyway. And then y'all come out in the rec room, at the bottom of the one at the bottom of the girls' dorm this time. She's like, that was fun. We need to do that. She's like, we need to do that again, but like with a better plan.
Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to agree with you.
She just smiles big at you.
I wanted no part in this, but there's clearly a supervillain at play. And like an adult one and not the two kids we ran into first day.
Now all of you noticed the thugs looking up and saw the guy showed you and whatnot. Not all the rest of you, some of them had their backs to him, whatever.
Yeah.
Geist. Oh no, Geist was distracted by what's her face. Kayla does ask you though, who is that guy up on the roof?
He was a leader and probably someone who's watching us for either kidnapping and brainwashing, kidnapping and cloning, or just wanting to know what we're gonna be. So, everyone.
So was that his robot, or is he a different guy that wants to clone us?
They're most likely same group, but different person.
So Indispensable speaks up. Okay, we need somebody grab some chairs. We need to plan our next action.
Now, for tonight, we need to get back to our rooms. With the police going off like that, after another super fight, they're going to be checking the dorm rooms pretty quick and doing a lot of security sweeps. We do need to talk about it. And next time we do any combat training, we need to figure out some new tricks. Because they're going to know any tricks we do constantly.
He looks like he doesn't want to agree with you, but he has to nod. That's that. Okay, that sounds like a plan.
Once again, at this point, Indispensable, I don't argue with your plan or idea of what to do. We need to do this because no one else is. That is true. But a lot of us, myself included, are super inexperienced at this. And we have to play it safe.
Right. It wouldn't be a good idea to drag your rookies out and get you caught or hurt or something. Fair point. Kayla has all the guys, hold hands as she runs you into the shadows and drives you off in the boys' dorm rec room.
As we are in the boys' rec room, I will go. Though Indispensable, I do have to state, if one of us does get kidnapped by those people, I'm immediately grabbing, our supervisors. Because at that point, it's a flat kidnapping, and we have to get all hands on deck.
He's like, yeah, okay, I can't really argue with that, but
I realize that does make me seem like a snitch. I don't want to be, but I would rather.
If they get away with one of us, yeah, okay. We'll just have to plan well enough that we don't let that happen. And then you kind of friendly shoulder punch.
Yeah.
Which is,
and just
harder than it needed to be, but not like he was using his super strength.
Yeah. I just see like part of a knuckle imprint on the metal and just move off
to
my
hammer
day.
that out tomorrow. Tink, 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 tink. Actually, the stuff you build, the stuff you make your stuff out of, could probably take a lick from him.
Yeah, but the whole thing of the outer layer of it looks like it's regular stuff.
Okay. Oh, it's
all of the stuff that would make it look unnatural is inside where you can't see it.
Gotcha.
Because I don't want the world to know I'm using the crazy magic space metal.
Gotcha. You just want to think you got a thing for copper and bronze.
Well, I want people to think I'm a super genius. Mm-hmm. I'm literally just doing regular physics, but with crazy space metal.
All right, so everybody retires for the evening. The next morning, as you're leaving for class, Geist lets you know that he did see some extra. He at his window he did notice the drones patrolling last night, which usually they just kind of do a perimeter sweep, but they were all over the place, and he's pretty sure he saw some of the human security team like walking the premises.
Yeah, the teachers know something's up, but they don't know specifics yet, hopefully. That being said, I'm never going to be the first person up to running out there and doing that stuff. I'm just hanging back to make sure when a surprise happens, we have a secondary team. I don't want to be the first one out the door for this kind of stuff.
He goes, yeah, but at least we got everybody back last night, and that went fairly well. And if we know people are going out, we'll know to keep an eye out. I wonder if we could use the phones to. But the teachers might be able to tap into the phones.
Yeah, I'm legitimately surprised that the teachers haven't already gone through our text messages. I mean, it's polite that they haven't, but I'm assuming they're going to.
I guess it would keep it up for sure. So there is an announcement during your homeroom. Vice Principal Rook is making an announcement. We have reason to believe that some of the student body may be sneaking off the premises at night. And she quotes what rule this is a violation of. That punishments will be handed out as soon as they figure out who it was. Though punishments will be lighter if you simply turn yourself in. Anyone with information about this can come to her or Principal Roland. Your identity will be kept in complete confidence. She sounds bored while she's saying this part, like she doesn't expect any of you to actually turn each other in. But she lets you know, stricter security measures are going to be implemented at night. So if you see the security staff walking around at night, it's not a sign that something is something is happening right then. That's just going to be the new normal going forward. Of course, this is like the homeroom, so you're the only students in there. Putty doesn't have a clue what's going
on. Is he still out of it? Oh no, he just didn't know. He's there. He just didn't know about the hijinks. Gotcha.
Right. He slipped through the hijinks.
Yes.
His roommates just couldn't bear to wake him up. He seemed to be sleeping so well. But all right. So at lunch period, Indispensable's walking around talking to people, as well as this would be another good one to have walking around talking to people.
One of the girls, maybe?
Yeah. Friendly Fire is very talkative, and she visits people at lunch. So. Yeah, we want to know. Okay, when are we meeting up to talk? Are we are we just including the folks that were there last night? Are we including everybody? Interestingly, she kind of comes to rig a jig with these questions. I mean, y'all are all kind of sitting close together.
I'll quickly, this is Indispensable's. This is Indispensable circus. It's his decision. But if we need me to take the blame for this to take heat off of it, tell me. Because with my history, I can play off that I was just doing what I've always done, which is go out at night and test my stuff. We can play it off like I thought it would be okay, and that I ran into the guy. That way the teachers will know what to look for while not exposing the...
She's like, I don't think anybody needs to be turned in yet, but I'll let everybody know that's a plan if we have to use it.
If they start getting too suspicious of any specifics, though, I can take a hit for the team.
Oh, that's good. Are you sure we... She kind of looks over, make sure she knows, see where Indispensable's at. Are you sure we have to let him be in charge?
Is she referring to?
She's referring to Indispensable. Are you sure this has got to be his circus? Because you seem to be more the thinker.
It's better to let him play the hero than get angry enough to play the fool.
Well, okay. I mean, he did do better than the fight than any of the rest of us. I mean, before all of y'all showed up as backup.
It's to the point where the things that are attacking us right now, Indispensable could handle solo. He just wants to have an audience, and he wants to have friends.
Well, we all want to have friends.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, yeah. Clearly, yeah. But, like, he's going to be the stoutest of us. Period. And that annoys me. Because...
You see Molly listening to this conversation, because she's at the table with y'all. And when you go, he's the strongest of us, she looks a little, now she looks a little miffed, like... She ain't
Molly,
sure
how many fights have you been in?
The fights with my brothers count. They're all super strong, too.
No, because they didn't plan to kill you.
Oh, okay. Well, I've... And she rattles off a couple of fights a couple of legitimate super fights she's been in back home.
Because he's been the sidekick of, Dynaman. He's been in more...
Who's ever heard of Dynaman?
He's been in life or death fights enough that I know he'll know how to handle himself in them.
All right, that's fair, I guess.
I did not mean to say he's stronger physically or more talented. He just has the experience on it. I'm speaking from my point of view, because I've only fought maybe two things.
Right. I'm being sensitive. I'm being too touchy about it. No.
Trust me, I understand the desire to beat him.
Yeah.
As well.
She's like, my family's got some supers, and I've had some training too, but I guess I haven't actually put on a costume and did anything. My uncle wouldn't let me get involved with the whole, Vasilev thing. Said I wasn't old enough, but it took some of the rest of the family.
Are they okay?
Oh, yeah. I mean, a couple of them got their powers neutralized. Well, a couple different times now I think about it. But and then she realizes how much she's giving away of who her family may be, so she kind of shuts down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
By the same token, she's from Australia and she flies it as super strong, and she's got a super powered family, so it's not a stretch for anybody that keeps up with supers to figure out who she is. As you have a famous flying super strong family from Australia.
yeah, the ensigns, right?
Right. I mean, you don't know the actual family name. They kept that secret over the years. But let's see, this was okay. This was the lunch, but what Friendly Fire really came over to get with you was her and Indispensable are basically canvassing the student body to find out when they want to meet up to have the conversations. A planning session. So if any of the teachers ask, it's a study session. And Indispensable wanted to get everybody's opinion on, do we include the rest of the student body in on this, or just the folks that are kind of already involved?
Honestly, I'd keep it to just the students who are already involved. Fewer mouths.
Did anyone get a picture of the guy in the black suit?
Some of the people at the table don't know what you're talking about, and nobody got a chance to take any pictures of anybody. Everybody was busy.
All right. The boss guy of the group that attacked. If anyone had a picture, I would have had us find a way to distribute that and just say, if you see this, run. But if we don't, we don't. That's my fault. I should have been able to snap one.
Let me do a quick scan through to see if you've got anybody. I don't think there's any just flat out telepathic people in your class.
That is an unfortunate.
Let me double check Geist, but I don't think telepathy was one of his. It's the problem having statted up basically the entire student body is trying to remember who all does what. Nope, he's got some telekinesis, not telepathy. All right. So anyway, by the end of lunch, I've got a group study session y'all are going to do in the dorm rec area. But do you, when after the question of do you include the entire student body, what do y'all decide, or what is y'all's vote for that?
Keep it limited.
Thorn agrees.
With running out and doing things, keep it limited. If we find information that the others would find useful or would help keep them safe in an eventual situation where these people show up, get that information out somehow, but otherwise keep it limited.
Okay.
If we see a supervillain that can run at super fast speeds, you tell people he can.
He's like, oh yeah. And throughout the day, you or some of the other students, are pulling up news reports about a disturbance last night, but there were no witnesses to what actually happened. They just heard the sounds, and there was nobody there when the police showed up.
But there would be leftover nets and stuff that were shut out, so it's evidence of what tried to happen.
They found the nets. They found a couple of the batons that got dropped, or tonfa. So yeah, the police have no idea what happened, but something went down. And there is a comment on how, you know, it's like leftover how it's high tech weaponry, but it was also like non-lethal stuff, so they don't know. You know, there's no reported kidnappings in the area, so they're not entirely certain what to make of it. They're investigating the origins of the weaponry, you know, currently. They identify the taser things as having been made by Shadow Corp. But it's something they sell. You know, it's something anybody can go online to order. You know, some of their tasers, so you know, it's just a mass-produced thing. So it was lunch. Let's see, after lunch I'll have Introduction to the Mystic with Wolf Witch, PE with Coach Brody, and then Science with Dr. Weiss. The last period of the day, the Rook comes into your classroom and kind of reiterates what she had said. Apparently she's been hitting different classes in person. And giving you all kind of an intense stare while she's talking to you. Let's see, it's in y'all's science class, so most of the people involved are actually there. You see Friendly Fire kind of squirming in her seat a little bit as Rook stares at her. She doesn't seem to like focus on any one of you any more than anybody else, but you know, she's kind of like looking you all in the eye while she's talking, one by one. Judging you. Maybe reading your micro expressions. There's all kinds of rumors about what the Rook knows how to do. But then class is over. Everybody retires. The general thing was, you know, have the little meetings. A couple hours after class, you give everybody time to knock some homework out. Again, Friendly Fire is, you know, all about copying Lacuna's homework whenever she thinks she can get away with it.
We can just do it together.
Yeah, but see, it's faster if I go do the stuff that's not boring and then just come in here and see what you've got done.
You won't learn how to do it right if you're just doing that.
Who's going to use math in real life?
Is Ricochet getting anywhere near that conversation?
No, this would be
just in the dorm.
Yeah,
okay.
This is just in Blessed Thorn and Lacuna's dorm.
I'm going to take out my phone.
Pretty sure Dr. Space Time.
Ricochet. Hey, Ricochet. What's up?
Oh, hey.
I'm going to put you on speaker for 1 second, okay?
Okay.
You hear Friendly Fire. What is this about?
Okay, say that thing to me that you just said into the phone.
What is this about?
The thing before that.
Who's going to use math in real life?
Yes, that.
Okay, who's going to use math in real life?
I have to use math every day or my suit will kill me. Because if I overtune it, I will jump into the nearest building and just crush my body to pieces. If I undertune it, I don't move and I get shot.
Okay, so people with super suits need math. That makes a certain amount of sense to me.
Also knowing like wait. Is your power only fire based, or do you have other things you can do?
You have seen her do fire and super speed.
knowing the max speed that you can carry a person out without liquefying, the internals of their ears and knocking them out into a coma is kind of also important.
She's like, dude, I'm not that fast.
You'd be surprised how fast whiplash can crack people. I've broken an arm more than once.
Couldn't I just look up those speeds and not have to figure it out myself?
Yeah, but like,
I mean, I can just memorize facts. That's how I get through history. I can memorize stuff out.
Having an understanding of it is just faster.
Fine. It's not like I can't do it. It's just boring.
All of the legwork to make sure your power works its best will be.
I don't know. Tactics class is kind of fun. But she sits down on the couch next to Lacuna. Well, I guess this answers the question of who the dorm mom is.
Thank you, Siggy.
No,
I am totally calling him that from now on.
no problem. Dorm mom hangs up.
Wait, is Lacuna the dorm mom or is Rigajig the dorm mom?
Let's say yes.
Rigajig is probably his dorm's dorm dad. Though I don't know, he's not the only responsible student there. Neither Eric or Geist were, exactly hyped to do the running around stuff. So anyway, you knock the homework out, and and sure enough, friendly fire is decent at math. You get the impression it really is just, and she does better working with somebody. It's like it doesn't bore her as badly. Though you have to keep her focused as she keeps trying to talk about other stuff. You think it's probably more of an attention span problem than anything else. Let's see here. But anyway, a couple hours pass. Y'all meet up in the rec area. I'm trying to think, would they just walk across to hang out, or would they go? Would they have Caleb bring them all in? It winds up being a split. Some of the girls just walk across campus, and then Caleb brings some of them in. That way, it doesn't look like it doesn't look like half the dorm is just walking across. Of course, the problem is you have some students that aren't involved that are hanging around in the rec room.
Oh.
Amber's oh wait, now that I think about it though, Amber should have been. Yeah, Amber's one of y'all's roommates. She should have known something was up because Kayla woke everybody up. But yeah, you got a kid down there, Kevin. Actually, I'm looking at it. Most of the guys were probably already involved in what was going on. Kevin may have been the only guy that wasn't there. Yeah, he was.
He was involved, or he was the only person
I don't think
involved?
Stonehenge wasn't involved either. So yeah, Kevin and Stonehenge are down there. Playing video games when everybody else gets there. So it's like y'all are all kind of over in one corner whispering, and it's a big group, and they just kind of keep looking over there. What's going on over there? But indispensables pulled over some chairs around the ping pong table or whatever. All right, how are we gonna do this? Are y'all want to do like nightly patrols? Or are we gonna send out like one team's worth, kind of out of a head like we're doing a patrol or like we do, and then hold another team back to jump in? Are we gonna use some of us as bait to draw them in and then have everybody else jump them?
A scout patrol would probably be the smarter option. Smaller, quicker, harder to spot than just all of us going out there all at once. Because there's a lot of us, and that's going to get noticed by a lot of people.
Yeah, but we got teleporters. I mean, Kayla can teleport. I was talking to Eric. He can teleport. Did you know that? I didn't know that. I thought he was just a fish dude.
Well, yeah,
I mean,
that's what I'm saying. Like,
no offense, you're strong as crap, but teleporting is just weird.
And it's like hold people back until the scout team needs reinforcement.
Guys is like, we could have people go out, using one of our teleporters. We could have people go out, hide in a location, and then have people, the patrollers, kind of hang around in that area, to get jumped. And then still have a squad, held back. Y'all three give me an awareness roll right quick.
Oh, wow, I have a shot with this one. No, I don't.
My goodness, I keep rolling so high for those.
We're teenagers. We're all dumbasses.
Blatantly unaware of your surroundings. But so so that's them two making suggestions. A lot of people looking at Rigajig. And then everything gets quiet.
Why is everyone looking at Rigajig?
And
then indispensable notices everybody's looking at Rigajig. What are you looking at him for?
the smartest person at the table.
I am not the smartest person at this table by a long shot. I'm just the one with the most anxiety.
All your anxiety is doing a really good job of making you look intelligent. I mean, show of hands, who here gave Mark their blood? Lacuna holds up her hand. Well, fluid, at least.
I hold up a thorn. I hold up some thorns.
Guys keeps his hands down. Over on the couch in front of the TV, you see Kevin start to raise his hand, and Stonehenge grabs it and lowers it back down. And you notice their controllers are sitting to one side, and Kevin has got his laptop out.
Oh.
Lacuna stares at him, gestures for him to come over.
Stonehenge is like, they get up and walk over.
I second the sentiment you have, Stonehenge. I had no desire to be involved in this.
Well, we were just trying to be quiet, and then he goes and raises his hand. Tries to raise his hand.
Are you in or are you out?
you hear your voice and it's extra loud for some reason. You know, it's like you talking in a normal voice and it almost sounds like a shout to you. And everybody at the table kind of reacts to that. And Kevin's like, oh, I'm sorry, let me... sorry, I didn't increase the volume around us so I could hear what y'all were talking about. And then all of a sudden the sounds in the area drop back down to normal.
Oh, that's a cool power.
He's like, yeah, I can edit reality. And he shuts his laptop and sets it down.
Oh, roll back here. What do you mean edit reality?
What?
Are you God? Am I talking to God right now?
I'm not the only one.
I can just picture Blessed Thorn with this. Why are you suddenly impressed by that?
Yeah,
We weren't impressed by that this morning. We were complaining about breakfast.
I'm right here.
He's like, there's a lot of limits to what I do. I mean, I can. Let's see, what would he admit to being able to do? I can do a lot of little effects. It's not like I can, it's not like I can't change your hair color or change somebody's gender or raise the dead or anything like that.
Well, it leaves a lot of possibilities open.
Well, I don't know what I'll be able to do eventually, but I'm thinking of calling myself the editor.
Can you cure vampirism?
Well, like I said, I can't raise the dead or anything, or really even heal people, so I don't think so. Not yet, anyway.
Well, I'm just gonna tear off a little scrap of paper, write down my number, slide it over to him. If you ever think you can.
Ooh. She doesn't say that. Not Blessed Thorn, anyway.
Oh, okay. So what exactly are y'all talking about? Are y'all going after the people that sent that robot?
Maybe, probably.
Stoney is like, you're sounding very decisive there.
Like, there could be a lot of different parties involved.
Some of us only showed up because they wanted to make sure that no one got hurt. And some of us showed up because we wanted information. Some of us showed up because we want revenge. And it's a very mixed table right now.
Stonehenge goes, is this going to involve us, bashing any heads?
Probably at some point, but I would like to avoid that if we can,
Well, if that's what it is, I'm in, but, I ain't a detective, so if y'all got, that kind of stuff to do, handle it yourself.
Well, it's just, we know there's a target on us, and we have to figure out some way to find the person that's shooting at the target and hit them before they hit us.
So y'all are why the editor speaks, or Kevin speaks up. So y'all are what the announcement this morning was about?
In vague terms, yes. In vague terms, no. That announcement was going to happen regardless of what conversation is happening here at this table is about. Because they already had 2 incidents. They had to make a public announcement of some sort. They're diverting it to the fact that a couple students left campus rather than there is someone jumping in campus that isn't supposed to be here.
Because, the drones that first day.
They would rather have us focus on students that left than opponents that entered. It's a morale thing for them. As long as we are happy with the campus, there's not a problem. So
Stoney's
focus on the things that keep
staff at these places.
Keep the problems internal. So anyway, But yeah, it's about trying to get the guy that's trying to get us. And there
Oh,
is
he just
there is
all right, I'm in then. Kevin's like, well, I mean, I don't know that'd be much good in a fight. I mean, well, I guess in a support role I'd be all right. Just I'm not a. I've always been more of a run away from the fight kind of guy.
I'd say form a team that's most of our faster people, easier to escape, easier to not get caught at the start of whatever is going to happen. Keep a transport team with our biggest hitters ready to pop in as soon as we see the target.
Indispensable goes, well, what if you're one of the fastest and one of the biggest hitters?
Then you'll flip a coin the night before.
I would say Indispensable, you could stay out in the front only as a protective service. You're the most experienced. You're the most likely to catch if they're setting something up. Just keep your eyes peeled. You'll be the best eyes on the team to know when something's up. And also, if they throw up an imaginary rock wall or a big rock wall that comes out of the ground, you can still punch it in half and get people out. It's important to have one or two in the front group like that to make it look like it's the regular group. Because if we did nothing but our best runners and hiders as a front group, they'd realize something's up. This is clearly an experienced team we're going against.
Well, they're using a bunch of thugs, so who would that be, guys? He goes, the guy last night was using a bunch of thugs. He goes, and did you notice in the news report the tasers are just like store-bought, order off the internet stuff? He goes, I suspect the nets were probably something weirder, more proprietary. But none of it was like, floating medical robot high tech.
Yeah, they didn't come at us like we were going to be a serious threat.
Yeah, they just,
It could be two separate groups. We just don't know.
Indispensable kind of. Yeah, they hit us with a bunch of numbers last night because there was just a few of us at first. And then as soon as y'all came in and dogpiled with us, yeah, they withdrew. So let's see. Molly suggests picking team captains. She goes, not to make it sound like a sports thing, but so you were talking like Indispensable here would be
Team one.
Yeah, leading kind of the bait team.
Is Indispensable suggests let's call this the Vanguard team. A little more dignified.
So team one, the front runners. Indispensable's like, hey, I'll take corkscrew and friendly fire. They both move pretty good, and they've already patrolling with me, so. And then, so how are you wanting to break up again, Tyler?
To make sure that there was someone who could hit hard and someone who could escape on both teams.
Okay.
Because if we enter the fight and it's just a horrible loss, we've got to be able to get everybody out.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to be more prepared for us every time this happens. So we need to make sure that we have enough on the front to stay up, but we need to have as much power on the back end as possible to just pop in, hit them, and make sure they don't get to run away like last time. If we're doing this again, we're doing this all the way through.
If they run, was like, not let them get away this time, huh?
Yeah. Last time was something happened. I wanted to make sure no one got captured. Now that we know they're trying to capture, we need to have it one and done before anyone does get captured. And even if we get caught, we have all the evidence to show that, we're totally in the right for doing this.
Molly volunteers for that team. She's like, I've got flight. I'm pretty maneuverable. I'm pretty tough. I could take a hit, and I can also carry plenty of people if we had to bug out.
Yeah, I also would like to be on Team 2, both for teamwork issues and the fact that, and he'll roll, and Rejig will roll up and show like the wire cords that come out. When I do a jump, I can connect to multiple people as passengers on the jump. So even if you're all netted, I can still get you in, jump, and get you safely out.
Kayla's like, I can get people in and out.
Yeah, you're going to be the entry for Team 2. Or you would be the best entry for Team 2.
She's like, I can fight too, or my shadows can fight. She's like, oh, I can also look through shadows if you needed me to scout ahead.
Can?
That sounds very important.
Oh, yeah. It's not, that was probably the first power I knew how to do. My great-grandpa used to watch me through the shadows, and I could see him.
Then, okay, time out. Creepy. All right, back in. Yes, we need that.
It's not like he was watching me in the bathroom or something. Just when I was a baby, he would check in on me. Then I got kidnapped one time. Anyway, it's a thing.
Oh.
Yeah, those Mott guys were not any fun. I mean, not the Egyptian dude named Mott, the other people.
Yeah.
The anti-mutant people.
Yeah.
They need to fight that out. Those two need to fight it out sometime.
Oh, he has been. He really didn't like them using his name. He was mad about it.
But yeah, if you can identify where their team lead is.
Well, I mean, she's like, I can't just go. I want to see,
all shadows. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not like I can go. I want to see where Siegfried is and look into a shadow and see where he's at. I gotta poke around. But I could keep an eye on a team that we had running around, or I could see if they got into trouble.
Yeah, that's going to be very useful. Yes.
She's like, she goes, I can't do that just anywhere in the world, but anywhere in the city is not trouble.
Well, it sounds like this is just going to be a job of divvying up teams based on powers and whether or not the leads of those teams can function. Molly, indispensable. This is your wheelhouse. I trust both of you as far more experienced in dealing with supervillains than I am. Y'all can separate the teams as need be.
They kind of look at each other. Not. She seems pleased that you're pointing out that she had some experience. Indispensable, you're putting her in charge of something, so he feels like he's getting his just due. He just wants people to realize how indispensable he is.
And Siegfried just doesn't want to be here. I came to this place to learn how to not die, not constantly put myself at risk.
It's practical experience.
I would have just kept going out in the streets at night, but this was going to be.
That's specifically what you didn't want to do.
It's what I was doing before, and I was like, oh, this sounds like a better option. And then it's the same thing. Except I can't blackmail the teachers into not being mad at me.
I'm pretty sure you couldn't blackmail your father into not being mad at you.
It was a whole thing. Don't worry.
All right. So, so Indispensable and Molly move over to one side and start, kind of tally. Okay, this is what we know everybody can do. And it's not that y'all got a full list of everybody's abilities, but, in tactics class and stuff, you see displays of people with the physical abilities, especially. Mischief Maker is a little closed mouth about exactly what she can do. She admits to the mind control because y'all saw that. Indispensable comments on her having super speed, and she disputes that. She's like, not exactly. But I can get around if I need to. All right, so y'all need you need the bait team basically, and then you got the backup team that for Kayla to carry in. We'll list Kayla as support. So are you going to? How many people do you want on each of these teams? That's another thing Indispensable and Molly would need to know.
All right, so how many people are there total? Because I have lost complete all count.
To be fair, so have I. All right. Let me get somewhere where I can. Okay, so Molly's involved. Let's just go down the teams. All right, so all four of you guys. So that's 4. Everybody in Molly's group is also involved. So that's got y'all up to 8. Eric is involved. Kayla is involved. Friendly Fire and Guy. So that's all of Team 3 is involved. So that's got us up to 12. Mischief Maker, Kevin, and Stonehenge are now involved. So that's another 3. Have I already mentioned Indispensable? No, I was going by team, so that's another one. Along with Quark. Yeah, there's like 3 students in your class that aren't currently involved.
Yeah. It felt like it was pretty much everybody.
You've got the other Jasmine, who must be referred to as Sum Zero due to the Accords. Amber, which is the other... she's on Indispensable's team, and she is the other roommate for Blessed Thorn and Lacuna. I think I messed up earlier. For some reason, I was thinking Kayla was your roommate, but that's not true. Yeah, Sub-Zero and Starlight Jim. And Stacy Morgan, who is in Team 4, goes by the name Shooting Star. So yeah, once they do the head count, Molly's like, "Are we gonna bring these last 3 in? Because I mean, it's everybody basically." Mischief Maker goes, "Yeah, Stacy can keep her mouth shut if that's what y'all are worried about." So what's y'all's vote on bringing everybody else in?
At this point, you might as well.
All right, so you've got your entire class to draw from.
Woo!
Indispensable, like it wouldn't hurt to have some of the class, roaming around here on campus to throw people off.
Yeah.
Just so it doesn't suddenly look like the dorms are deserted. They could run around to everybody's dorms, turning off and on lights every now and then or something.
That might be what Blessed Thorn ends up doing.
Well, obviously, I'm going to keep all the players involved. But all right. So yeah. So Molly and Indispensable go off to put the teams together. She also suggests that if this becomes this might turn out like a stakeout where it may take a while for this to work. So she suggests doing multiple versions of Team 1, multiple versions of Team 2, so you can trade off nights basically, rather than one group of us just not getting enough sleep every night for a week.
That's
or however
fair.
long it takes. All right. So the little party breaks up. Kayla takes the ones Kayla brought in. She takes back. The rest of them, in 1s and 2s and 3s, kind of break off and head back. You still see security guys roaming around, so sneaking out by conventional means is obviously going to be harder now. That doesn't seem to bother Indispensable, though, because now he's got teleporters he can call on. Before he heads out, though, he does walk up to Riggajig. You were a little slow to sign on to all this, but he taps you on the shoulder. You really seem to be more of a team player than I thought you were going to be.
Well, at first, this looked like it was just running out to play. But now there's a gun pointed at us. We have to take it serious.
Yeah, but we can still have a little fun while we're doing it.
Oh, yeah, certainly. There's always a joy in throwing a dude over your shoulder.
He smiles. You might be all right. I mean, the whole steampunk thing, I don't know about it.
We all have to have a look.
That's true. We can't all look as iconic as... And then he just kind of poses. He didn't even say his name.
Well, if
It's
we
a
all
great
dress
costume,
the same...
you know what he is. And then he looks at Lacuna. In fact, you need a costume now. Think about it. You need a code name because we're going to be out here running around people after us. We don't need to be calling you by your actual name.
Okay, I'll think of something.
Several of the guys all look at each other. Guy just hangs his head as all of them look and go, Twilight?
Who said it? Who said it?
Let's see. Stonehenge was one of the ones.
Roll for initiative.
Let's see. Geist knew better than to repeat himself. Corkscrew said it. And Ashley, who goes by Pinball, she wasn't one of the guys, but she realized what they were about to say and chimed in.
I am going to gently slug the nearest one of them in the face.
Ooh.
Gently.
You catch Corkscrew in the face. Well, you say gently, so I'm basically picturing you kind of slow motion punching and just kind of pressing your fist into his face.
Understand, I can peel you apart like a banana if I need to, okay? Okay, everyone?
As you're doing your slow motion punch, Pinball was already up and heading to the door. Well, I got class in the morning. I gotta go.
Lacuna, please don't make anybody black out.
Why would I make anyone black out?
Corkscrew's like, I'm pretty sure you'd have to punch me harder than this.
I can if you want.
No, I do not. Stonehenge gets up, scoots his chair up under the table. Just think about it. It could be a very marketable name. I'm just saying. And then he looks over at Kevin. Can you make people sparkle?
So I'm gonna turn invisible now.
The dependence rate could.
Suddenly nobody can see you.
Going to quietly get up. And then I'm going to give him a wedgie. Use every ounce of strength I have.
Stonehenge?
Yeah.
You lift him up off the ground. And you just, there's a brief second. And then he turns to stone and the underwear just rips in your hand. You're sitting there holding the strap as he turns to stone and drops back to the ground.
I smack him with it.
You throw it in his face. And he starts kind of, reaching out. All right, where's she at? Where's she at?
Moves away.
And his voice is very gravelly, but he still sounds like this is all in jest. But you do notice that Corkscrew, he's laughing, but as you step away from Stonehenge, Corkscrew's eyes follow you.
I'm gonna wink at him.
He smiles. But he also looks a little confused at Stonehenge, like, why, what do you mean, where is she? She's right there.
No.
And we will wrap there with everybody having a good time before things get serious. Because it's about 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
So you have uncovered a new enemy who you have no idea who he is. Maybe he's the only enemy you're facing. Well, other than possibly the Institute of Criminology. Or maybe you've got a pile of enemies. You just don't know yet. It's only the second week of school. And you may have already uncovered a conspiracy or two. So anyway, I hope you all had a good time. I enjoyed running, as always. Hope anybody listening later on or watching this on YouTube, or Twitch for that matter. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you come back next time. Again, I've been your GM for the day, Jason, and with me has been Mike playing Blessed Thorn. Taylor playing Rigajig.
See you.
And Zach playing Lacuna Lane.
Have a good evening.
And we will see y'all next time.